This is what we need to be more concerned about. Now, this video is kind of long that we want to watch, but it's a good video nonetheless. Like, if you don't know who she is, y'all need to listen to like the mother's phone calls to her and the text message that the mother was sending to her. And as a person that has 2 children, it'll be heartbreaking to know that just from bad policy where we pay all these tax dollars and give a whole bunch of stuff to people that they don't even protect our borders enough that we won't have people coming to our country, taking us out, trying to do bad things to us, and rape your daughter, kill her. She go for just a simple jog and never make it back home. Things and natural activities that we're supposed to be able to do in life that we have to be fearful and worried about because our government has failed us, and they will put you in jail if you don't pay taxes. Just think about that. You're actually paying taxes to have some type of security, some type of sanity, some type of normalcy in your country, but the government is not doing this job. So much so that they sued Texas. So Texas couldn't protect its border. So much so that they're flying planes and putting these migrants or these illegals in certain cities. They said up to 20 million, 25 million migrants have crossed the border. I just watched a video, I think it was a CNN video of them going to a Venezuelan prison to look at the prisons because people kept saying they was emptying out their prisons. Prisons are completely empty. That they are letting their trash out of their prisons and putting it over here in America. And that's why we have so many of these gang violence happening. I just reviewed a video last week in some gangs in Tennessee. Not like black gangs, American gangs. We're talking about Venezuelan gangs fighting each other in the streets of Tennessee. They brought their gang wars over here, and we're allowing this to happen in America. Take over apartment complexes. In New York, these migrants and illegals are protesting. How are y'all protesting and telling us y'all not going home and y'all going to make changes over here? But y'all didn't decide to make changes over there in Mexico. You know why? Because Mexico, their police and their military is way more lawless and will shoot you in the street if you think you're finna protest. Over in America, we don't do stuff like that. And we need to reconsider so we can get some more law and order over here.
We began with Ibarra's roommate testifying that Jose Ibarra was given a free ride to a fancy New York hotel in Georgia on a Biden administration sponsored flight. He was at the Roosevelt Hotel, then takes a flight from New York to Georgia, where he allegedly kills Laken Riley.
Listen to this. The Roosevelt Hotel. This ain't no rinky-dink hotel that they just putting the migrants in. Like I told y'all, the LA Dodgers had to stay in a like a 1-star hotel when they had to go to New York and play baseball because all of the hotels are renting out their rooms because they got all these stipends, basically like some Section 8 vouchers to house the migrants. Your own American citizens can't stay in luxury, or these baseball teams can't stay where they need to stay because y'all are housing migrants. So much so that they're housing migrants, then giving them free plane tickets. Just think about you being an American citizen and you can't get a free plane ticket to enjoy what America has to offer you, but they can fly a migrant from New York to Georgia, and this person ends up killing someone.
And how did you get to Athens?
¿Y cómo llegaron a Athens?
En Nueva York pedimos en Manhattan.
In New York, we asked in Manhattan.
En el Hotel Roosevelt.
And Hotel Roofing?
Roosevelt.
Roosevelt.
De Manhattan pedimos un vuelo humanitario aquí hasta Atlanta.
In Manhattan, we requested for a humanitarian flight to come here to Atlanta.
A humanitarian flight. Isn't that nice? Well, once in Georgia, prosecutors say he, quote, went hunting for females and allegedly murdered Laken Riley. Now, stories like hers are the driving force behind President-elect Trump's mass deportation plan, but Democrats are vowing to resist it, to fight it, and are apparently...
If y'all watching, y'all make sure y'all like the video. Hey, it's a lot of people over there on X right now watching. Y'all make sure y'all like the video. Y'all make sure y'all reshare, repost the video. Let's get the message out there. Help me grow my page. If y'all want to come over here on YouTube, or YouTube or Rumble, so I can see y'all comments or y'all can like the video. Also, if you're watching over there on Rumble, make sure y'all like the video on Rumble and make sure y'all share the video over there as well.
Certainly more concerned about protecting illegal immigrants than your daughters, your sons, your families.
We will not be participating in misguided efforts that harm our communities, and I've been incredibly clear about that.
If the Trump administration...
Now listen to all of these governors saying they're not going to help deport illegals, and we know what these people are doing. Listen to all of these governors that said they're not going to help deport illegals. This is crazy.
Requested, would the Massachusetts State Police assist in mass deportations?
No, absolutely not.
The president-elect, former President Trump, his threat is not just towards new arrivals and undocumented families. We're going to stand up, we're going to protect undocumented individuals.
When people talk, especially elected officials, about the issue
I can't stand AOC. I really don't like her.
of undocumented Americans, one thing that we can say is that we agree. Being undocumented is a problem. But our solution, instead of turning the military on our own people, is to document.
They're not our people. They're undocumented. They're illegal. It is crazy that how we are allowing so much lawlessness to happen in America. Just think about this. These people can come across the border, and which is breaking the law. But if you speed too fast, you got to go get a ticket. And if you go driving so far over the speed limit, they can take your license or put you in jail for reckless driving. Just think about what's going on. You as a citizen, somebody that pays taxes here, somebody that's a patriot of America, somebody that actually loves to be here, and a law-abiding citizen had to walk pretty much on eggshells because you can really break the law at any time in America. Let's just be real about it. You can break the law at any time, but the people that we know are breaking the law, y'all telling me y'all are protecting these people when we got people in California staying in tents, people like in my city living under bridges. It got so bad in my city that our mayor and the mayor of Memphis were playing basically ping pong. They were playing ping pong with the homeless people. And what I mean by that they would give vouchers to the homeless people to send them up to Memphis. They mayor in Memphis was sending right back down here. They would just keep sending them. Say we have a big event, they would get vouchers. They'll put them on the Greyhound bus. Hey, y'all go to Memphis for the weekend. By the time the event that we got going on down here in Birmingham that's big, they'll be back Monday or Tuesday. This is crazy that we ain't even got them. We got a mayor in Chicago that we just seen, Brandon Johnson, don't even want to send his migrants there, but want to raise the property tax on the people. But the people didn't vote it. They voted red, and I played the video. We had a bunch of black people, and now, like I tell y'all, they not gonna tell y'all the truth of how many black people actually voted for Donald Trump. They talking about 90% of black women voted for Trump. I think that number is way lower because I've been seeing too many women, black women on my timeline saying they voted for Donald Trump for it to be 90%. If 90% of black women voted for Donald, didn't voted for Kamala, that means it would damn near be non-existent of the women that I would see on my timeline saying they voted for Donald Trump. So in Chicago, they told them, the black women, and I hated that we got black women that had to stand up and be the forefront and the faces, because I don't see any men. Well, I've been seeing them lately. I'm gonna take that back, but I was finna overspeak. But for the most part, I was seeing nothing but black women going out there in the city council meetings, speaking up. And they told them, they said, hey, y'all keep pushing. We're gonna make sure we get Trump in here to audit y'all because we know y'all stealing the money. There's no reason for y'all to be $1 billion in debt and tell us y'all gonna raise these property taxes $300 million. We know y'all stealing the money. Let's go. If y'all want to keep playing, we're gonna call them in here so they can audit y'all and put y'all that look like me. having issues with the people that's quote unquote for the black people, the Democratic Party, and we know the Democratic Party started the KKK, and I'd be like, why do y'all keep voting for these same people? When LBJ said, you give me these programs, I'm gonna have these niggas voting this way for the next 200 years, and y'all still ain't left the Democratic plantation. And I ain't saying that means you gotta vote Republican. You can vote whatever's best for you, but don't just be loyal to a people that hasn't earned your vote. That's like getting into a relationship. Why would you be in a relationship with anybody that hasn't earned your time, effort, and your loyalty, or even your body to be in that relationship with them? Especially for extended periods of time. If they ain't proved themselves year in after year in and at the year end, then why are you with them or continue to still be with them? That makes no sense.
Document them. To document the undocumented.
What we can do is make sure that we are doing our part to protect our residents in every possible.
Like I said, if you're over there on X, come over here on YouTube if you can. Make sure y'all repost the video. Make sure y'all share it. Let's get the message out there. Help me grow my channel. Thank y'all very much.
Way that we are not cooperating with those efforts that actually threaten the safety of everyone by causing widespread fear and having large-scale economic impact.
So the mayor of Boston, that was Miss Wu, wants to protect residents. Oh, wait, well, residents, citizens like Laken Riley were not protected down in Georgia. Emily, fancy flights is what our taxpayer dollars went to. Fancy hotels, our taxpayer dollars went to. Laken Riley's family is a tax-paying family. Their taxpayer dollars went to enabling the murder of their daughter. I know that sounds harsh, but these are taxpayer dollars that enabled a murder.
Our taxpayer dollars. The government has no income other than our taxpayer dollars. And the reality is that, much like forensic accounting and other crimes and other litigation, you can absolutely trace, just like we traced ghost guns, just like we trace everything ultimately from the seed of fraud and the butterfly. And frankly, one life matters just as much as hundreds of thousands and millions. And so the fact that the mainstream media has been complicit in covering this up, I have on my phone a collection in preparation for this show of notes where NBC called it unfounded lies. The ACLU said lie after lie after lie. The verbs used about President-elect Trump talking about the porous southern border and the impact then, the direct impact on crimes and drugs on our communities and individuals like Laken Riley, the rampant crime has been brushed aside, downplayed, and called outright lies for now 4 years. And this is why the American people stood up and said no more, because they saw with their own eyes the rampant crime in their communities, the ghost flights, the other flights, the lies by the Biden administration of where our taxpayer dollars go. And now the collateral damage is unretrievable, because the collateral damage is lives like Laken Riley,
who had to fight for her life for 18 minutes. 18 minutes is what we know from the watch she was wearing. You know, Harris, I want to pull up a picture of AOC. You'll remember this well. Her at the border. She's dressed in all white. She's crying, tears. This was during the Trump
performative activism. This is what this is called. When they had these photo ops and acting as if they doing something that's going to help the community. These people hold these seats in these positions, and all they doing is lie in their pocket. They're the new day preachers. That's all they're doing. The new day pimps, players, hustlers.
Era. You know, where are her tears for Laken Riley? Where is the gusto from President Biden to call Laken Riley's family? He was prodded into saying her name at the State of the Union. These tears need to go to American citizens.
Let's show up on Capitol Hill together as outnumbered co-hosts and ask her. Yeah, I think you have to confront people to get the answers, and she's an elected official, so the press coming to her shouldn't be a problem. I would say this. We had another California mayor on today, Will O'Neill, who's in Newport Beach, and he was talking about people who they catch on boats, and he's always so relieved that they catch them out on the water, because if they make it to California, their California laws protect them more than they do the U.S. citizen.
Ain't that insane? We got people that will literally come over here on boats, fresh off the boat, and you get more protection than American citizens get. If that ain't a slap in the face, That's like that's like you having a girlfriend, but she cooked for the neighbor more than she cooked for you. But I'm in here paying all the bills. I'm if somebody run through the door, I'm willing to die for you. But you mean to tell me every time I come home, you can't cook for me, but his belly over there full? Now I'm gonna feel a ways about that. Now me and him, we're gonna have to scrap. There's gonna be some issues. I'm gonna have to leave. Something's gonna have to shake because this can't keep going on around me. And you call yourself my girl? Nah, that ain't gonna happen.
That's what he said. He said they're given protection from anybody being able to deport them or even know anything about them. He said, no way to vet them. People have forgotten even Nancy Pelosi's husband, Paul Pelosi, was attacked by someone who was in the country illegally. I mean, he had a lot
See, I didn't know that. I thought it was his boyfriend.
to say last hour. I respect what the American people said loud and clear. And they were answering back to an offer by then candidate Donald Trump. Back in January, he was saying it. He's going to use the Illegal Aliens Act of 1798 to get rid of people in this country expeditiously. You can look at the litmus test that everybody had to pass under Obama, and that was this, if you committed another crime coming into this country after breaking in illegally, he would deport you, and he did. Got the nickname Deporter in Chief. Trump's going to keep the promise that he made to American people, and people are expecting him to do that, and even some Democratic mayors would like for him to get with it.
So speaking of that Democratic mayor, in this case of Boston, Mayor Wu, Charles, and then you have the governor of Massachusetts there, Governor Healy, and they're all saying we're going to buck the Trump administration. Let's pull up this ICE.gov headline. This is under the tenure of Biden, by the way. This is Biden's ICE. ERO Boston arrest Colombian citizen charged with sex crimes against child. The next line of that is local jurisdiction refused to honor immigration detainer and released non-citizen back into the community.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all just hear what she just said? You released a child predator back into the community, an illegal already, and they come over here and commit another crime against someone's child, and y'all release them back into the community? You can't tell me this is not a play. You can't tell me that the people that's in these positions, these governors and these mayors, aren't trying to destroy America. You can't tell me. And the people in these states and cities, they just sit around and just let it happen. They just sit around and let it happen. If I pay taxes, I'm telling y'all, the first thing people got to do is understand we control everything because we have the numbers. If your mayor is okay with doing stuff like that and they releasing sexual predators back into the community, if those people don't come together with their guns and going to the mayor house, knocking on his door and dragging him out there and knocking the teeth out his mouth like, hey, you need to make some laws, some shake. Hey, the next time we come back here, you ain't gonna be so lucky. Violence gets stuff did. All that we gonna pray, all that we gonna hope that it had. No, violence gets things done. That's why people go to war. Violence get things did. Violence get things moving. Now, sometimes it's about being smarter and you got to be strategic how you use certain things. But at the end of the day, if we can't talk it out, if you can't pass policies, laws, if you ain't got the people making sure that they're doing their job to up to par to make sure everything is running like a well-oiled machine, then that means you got to get more aggressive with your approach and how you get things done in your city.
This is in their community, and they can't find it within themselves to say, let's get the criminals out.
Almost every one of those sound bites, you heard them saying, all these elected officials, we're going to protect our citizens. Someone who broke into this country illegally is not your citizen.
Right.
They committed a crime to get here. Listen, I understand why anybody in the world would want to live in America.
Yep.
But we have rules.
At this point, I don't. America, the American dream, and Lee said this in the comment section last week, the idea of the American dream, the land of the free, the home of the brave, is how they trick us to believing that we're really in the best country in the world, and they tax us. Just think about how much they tax you. Before you get when you get your check, they didn't already took 30% of your dollars. Your drive to work, that's gas money to even do that. And then you got to think about when you go to stores, when you buy houses, think about taxes on land. You buy a house right now. Let's say you pay $150,000 for a house. You still got to pay taxes on the land. They taxing us something so ridiculous in America. It don't make no kind of sense. None whatsoever. You really only get to see probably about 18-20% of your check for yourself. And that's why I don't understand, especially when it comes to relationships, why so many people, even the women, want to talk about this 50-50. I'm not going 50-50 with a man. Okay, cool. Do you understand what you're saying? And do you understand the life that you're putting off and trying to do things by yourself when you could come together with a man or some men or some women? I don't know what you like. Whatever you like is what you like, but just coming together and working in tandem with somebody that's making a check and bringing money in that has the same goals and the mindset and morals as you do, you can accomplish a lot.
To get into this country, and when I see these kind of attacks, to a degree, we have to say these elected officials are aiding and abetting, and I mean they have aided and abetted these crimes, these horrific crimes. They're part of it. They've allowed it to happen. They've encouraged it to happen. They put up this sign saying, welcome. If you can get into the country and into my city or my state, I'll protect you.
If you're watching the video, y'all make sure y'all like the video. If you're over there on X, make sure you reshare the video and repost the video. That'll help me out greatly. Thank you.
I mean, they are culpable. As culpable as like someone robbing a bank in a getaway driver. They're as culpable as that person. And you know, you think about some of the things that they do and use to try to say, hey, this is okay. There was a report that circulated this year about how illegals in this country commit few crimes. But if you looked at the report and you took out folks who came here from Asia on college visas out of the picture, the numbers swelled. I mean, you know, we know that where the criminals are coming from. We know who the criminals are.
Right.
Why do we keep letting them into this country?
Yeah, and meanwhile, so you have Democrats saying, I'll buck Trump for 500. Now watch the Trump administration say, I'm calling your bluff.
If we don't want to work with us and get that out of the way, we want to do it. What it means is we'll just send more, you know, rather than send 100 people to Boston, we'll send 200 agents to Boston. We're going to get the job done. We have a mandate.
You don't want 100, Kara, we'll send 2. That's amazing.
And like I said they gonna get the job done. They gonna get you out of here. No matter what you think or how you feel, you're going to get out of America. So the next thing I want to talk about is these Chicago teens. The reason I want to talk about these Chicago teens is because this is what they're walking around doing.
You from my block? You sure? What you got on you? Don't run. Come out. Hey, check it out.
Hey, make sure y'all like the video. Make sure y'all share the video. Repost the video if you're over there on X. If you want to come over here on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And make sure you follow me on all social media platforms and subscribe. Thank you very much.
Come out. Come out. Come out. Don't come back right here. That's how we hit y'all block. On Miles, you come outside getting that ass baked. How y'all coming? Button on you. Come here, check it out, Dad. On Miles.
See, and this don't even make sense because I don't even think it's legal to have guns in Chicago. Let me, as a matter of fact, let me look that up.